Hi guys, welcome back to this series of videos on writing emails in English. Now, in this video, we're going to look at a subject that unfortunately is very common, and that is complaining about things. I'm going to take you through the phrases that we need when we write an email to complain about something, whether it's a defective product or a service that we've received which wasn't very good. There's always reasons why we have to send polite, professional emails to complain about things. And that's what I'm going to do in this class. I'm going to take you through the phrases we need. We're going to write 2 model emails as well. The model emails I'll leave also in the class which accompanies this video. And I'll leave there lots of other model emails for complaining about things. So please do check out the link which I'll leave in the comments below this video. Okay, ready? Let's start. Now, at Business English 23, we always believe that writing emails which are short and simple is the best strategy. And that's no different in this email to complain about something. So in our opening line, we're going to get straight to the point and we're going to say, I am writing to complain about. I am writing to complain about. So, for example, we might say, I am writing to complain about the service I received in your restaurant last night. Or we might say, I am writing to complain about the condition of the television which I purchased from your internet store. Obviously here there are many different possibilities, but I would always start in the same way. I am writing to complain about. Okay, so now let's move on to our first model email, and in this email we're going to look at a situation which is very common, which is unfortunately when we have received a delivery late, when one of our suppliers has delivered goods to us after the agreed deadline. Okay, so let's look at how to do that. Here's our email. I'm going to start, Dear Sarah, using the first name, and then the first line, immediately we use the line that we've just seen. I'm writing to complain about the delay in receiving our last order. Okay, I'm writing to complain about the delay in receiving our last order. And then, as always in an email, let's ask the other person to do something. Okay, and we'll do that in a very polite way using I would be grateful. So our last line will be, I would be grateful if you could give me a call to discuss the situation. Now, the email that we've written is perfectly fine, but actually I'm going to add a couple more pieces of information. So we start the email as we have done before, but let's put our reference number for the order, okay? I mean, let's give the other person all the information that they need in order to resolve the problem. And then I would give a little bit of extra information as well. We made the order with you in June, but we had to wait nearly 2 months to receive the goods, okay? We're not giving a huge amount of extra information, but just the essential details about when we made the order and how late the order was actually delivered. And then we finish the email as before. I would be grateful if you could give me a call to discuss the situation. Best regards, Simon. So that's one email for complaining about something, which you're very welcome to copy and paste and use yourselves. Now let's look at some alternative phrases for complaining. for starting the email and also for continuing and giving more information about our complaint. A more direct way to start the email is to use "I'd like to complain about." I'd like to complain about. So we might say, for example, "I'd like to complain about the terrible service we receive from your technician." Or something that's very typical at the moment, "I'd like to complain about the price rises which your company has imposed on us this year." Obviously, as always here, you've got a lot of possible things that you're going to complain about, but we would always start the first line, "I'd like to complain about." I'd like to complain about. Alternative ways of starting the email are "I'm not happy about" or "I'm disappointed with." Both of these are very direct ways of starting an email to complain about something. And if we're particularly angry, well, we can use adverbs like really or very. So we might say, "I'm really not happy about the performance of the marketing department this year." Or, "We are very disappointed with the results from the Christmas advertising campaign." And just as a side note, I've talked about this in previous videos, but often when we write emails in English, we prefer to use the first person plural. It just sounds a bit better, to be honest with you. It doesn't sound so selfish and so aggressive. So we can turn those previous phrases around and we can use "we're" instead of "I am." And we would start the email, "We're not happy about," or "We're disappointed with." Now, when we complain about something, we're not just complaining because, well, we're in a bad mood, etc. No, we normally want a solution. And so the last line of an email is critical. And in that last line, we're going to ask the person we're writing to come up with a solution. If we want financial compensation, we could say, "We would like to be refunded the full cost of the service." Or we might say, "We would like to be compensated for the inconvenience." If we think the solution is fairly complicated, probably we need to have further discussions with the people we're writing to. So let's propose some kind of future contact. And we might say, "Could you give me a call to discuss the situation?" Or, "Could we set up a meeting to try to find a solution to the problem?" If it's a case of products which have still not arrived, products we've ordered which have still not arrived, we might finish the email with, "Could you please tell us when the products will be delivered?" Could you please tell us when the products will be delivered? I hope it's all clear up to this point. We're now going to go on and write our second email, and in this situation, again, something that's very common, we've organised a conference at a hotel, the service wasn't very good, lots of things went wrong, and we're going to write to the hotel to say that we're not happy and to demand that they do something. So we're going to start our email with I'd like to complain about. In this case, I'd like to complain about the service we received in your hotel last week. Now we're going to go on and give details about the service. And as always, this is going to be very specific to the problem which you have had. In this case, we're going to say the conference room was very badly equipped and the rooms were very dirty. Now, I've used very here, the adverb very, which is to show that I'm really not pleased with the situation. And then in the next line, I'm going to talk about the consequences, the negative consequences for our company. Our staff and clients were very unhappy with the experience. Okay? Our staff and clients were very unhappy with the experience. And now, as I'm not happy, as it's really caused us a problem, I'm going to be very direct and I'm going to ask for compensation. We would, therefore, like to ask for a refund of 3,000 euros. And now I'm going to justify that claim. In the circumstances, we think it is very unfair if we have to pay the full price. And now the final line, which again is a very common way of finishing emails when we want a response. I look forward to your response. Best regards, Sam. And there you have it. There's our email for complaining to a hotel about the service which they have provided us. And with that, we come to the end of this class. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget that all of the emails plus extra emails are on the Business English 23 website for you to download. And on that website, you'll also find a whole course on writing emails in English and also a course on using the telephone in English. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.